guys, Calvin Tahan here with the Card Guys, along with the Card Guys own Ryan Levine, coming at you with a first place ABC Regionals deck profile from Virginia. So anything you want to say before we get started?
Basically, I wanted to play this deck because I feel like no new decks have really come out in a long time. Like, the new list didn't make any other decks viable. They just kind of made like Monarchs and Cosmo like not viable. But like Metal Foe is just like another Pendulum deck. Like we've just had like standard Pendulum decks since like last November. So Blue Eyes, like we got that in the middle of last format. So I feel like this is the first deck that came out that was like new, and I just really wanted to play something new.
Okay.
And it's good, so that was better, I guess.
It's good.
It's
All
also
right.
good.
Let's get right into the deck then.
3A, 3B, 3C, 2 gold, 2 silver. Maybe more of these later. We'll explain why like these are good in this. This is a slightly unorthodox build. No Thrashers, because I don't think the card's good at all. And with some of the other cards in this deck, Gold and Silver Gadget have a lot more synergy. 2 Gamma Seal. I've made these all this format so far. I think maybe I wish these were maxi. I'm not really sure. These just didn't perform as well for me as they have like previously, which doesn't mean they're bad. It's just like I think like this deck has weaknesses that, or like has strengths that like make Gamma Seal like not as important. I'm not entirely sure though. Trick Clown and Garnet. We're playing Brilliant Fusion, and there are a lot of combos that that don't work with Photon Thrasher, but Brilliant Fusion and a Gadget like have a lot more synergy, which I'll explain some of them in a little bit. 3 Union Hanger. This card's broken. Maybe the best spell in the game right now. Terraforming, because you want to play 6 of it. Brilliant Fusion. Foolish, because not only can you just send a piece you're missing, you can also just send the Trick Clown. And Trick Clown, I didn't think this card would be that good, but if you can make like a turn 1 Tsukiyomi with Trick Clown instead of with like, you know, the Gadget. So if you open like Foolish and like Union Hanger, now when you tag out your Buster and you have your Tsukiyomi with a Trick Clown under it, not only do they have to deal with the materials of Buster, and then maybe even like a 4th guy that you equip with the Union Hanger, if they have to also deal with a floating Trick Clown, they have to deal with like 5 level 4 monsters, and if they don't deal with all of them, then you just make rank 4s, like a lot of rank 4s on your next turn. Like if they don't kill Trick Clown, you're making probably minimum 2 rank 4s on your next turn, and sometimes you can even make 3. And it just adds another level of like resiliency to the deck, where like as every turn passes, this deck like has a higher win rate, and this just increases that even more.
Yes.
3 Twin, because going second, you need like ways to play through back row. Also, this isn't even that bad going first in this deck. If you open Union Hanger, any ABC piece, and Twin, you can go Union Hanger for an ABC, activate, equip one from your deck, and then Twin the material, and then discard the extra one in your hand, and then make Buster. And if you didn't open B, you can equip B from your deck and then search something, so you have a discard if you need that as well. 3 Desires, because this card's absurd. Upstart, it's just Upstart. And then the 5 like good traps in the format, Solemns and Warning and Emptiness. This deck doesn't need traps really, but just it can support them, and they like are not bad. So you just play like the best traps.
Right.
You can play.
That's 40 cards.
What?
40.
Yeah, 40 cards. Extra deck, 3 Buster. This card's, you need 3. Obviously, Seraph Knight for Brilliant Fusion. Tsukiyomi Girigant. So I want to talk about this specific. So this card is like obviously everyone plays it, but in this deck specifically, gadgets making Girigant matter a lot more, because what Brilliant Fusion lets you do is Brilliant Fusion actually just lets you make Buster in ways that don't need Union Hanger.
Yes.
So, which the problem that we found with the deck is like when you open Union Hanger, you like, even if you can't make Buster, if you just open Union Hanger, just like open Union Hanger, like Union Hanger A, equip B, pass, is usually like okay.
Pretty good,
if you're not playing the mirror, because in the mirror they just make a Buster and they just start banishing all your guys. There are no other decks in the format that can actually just like banish them and like get rid of them. Like they just have to put them in grave, and then you just make Buster, and then you just start winning like undeservedly for no reason. So the problem is making it when you don't open Union Hanger. So Brilliant Fusion lets you make Buster in lots of different like 3-card combos. You would have like Brilliant, a Gadget, and then like any ABC piece. You go Brilliant, you send a piece you're missing. You go like Gadget, so you go like Brilliant, send a Gadget, summon whichever one you were missing, make your Gigant, detach it, search the 3rd piece, and then use your extra normal summon to summon it, and then you banish these and make Buster.
Right.
So it just gives you more ways to play that don't actually involve Union Hanger, which I think is like maybe like the one well, not the one weakness, but like the biggest weakness of the deck is its reliance on Union Hanger specifically. So like Thrasher can't do that, and I think that's why Gadgets are just like better in this version. 2 Dire Wolf, because when they don't like clear your board, you just make Dire Wolves, and then make more Busters and just win. Dweller, Emerald, Castel, the Utopias, not the 3rd one because we needed room for Seraph Knight and for 2 other cards. This is pretty standard now. Like in the mirror, in like mid to late game, you can just like banish all their pieces. This weekend I played against Metal Foe, and I won because I banished their scales with Buster. Then I banished their Metal Foe counters with Rhapsody in their. So I banished the counters in their graveyard, so they couldn't add back scales from their extra deck.
That
so they
is
just
so
couldn't
funny.
play. And then this is the spicy tech. Is Bujinki Amaterasu. I haven't seen anyone play this yet, except for like our circle. I hate terms like that. But this takes 3 level 4s. And during either player's turn, you can target one of your level 4 or lower banished monsters. On your turn, you summon it. On your opponent's turn, you add it to your hand. So the reason this seems like it takes 3 level 4s, it's just like a win more. But the reason this card is actually like matters is in the mirror, how a lot of games go is, as I mentioned, like Rhapsody, they just like banish pieces in grave, or they just Dragon Buster, and they just target one of your pieces. So they will banish like all 3 of your Bs or like all 3 of your As. So you can't make Buster anymore. And at that point, it usually like they don't even have to clear your board. They will just go out of their way to banish all of one piece, and you just can't win. And they will leave you with like as many level 4s as you want, because none of them actually do anything. And because this is a quick effect, you can summon this like, and you get to summon like, so if you have like all your Bs banished, you get to summon a B on your turn, then you make a Buster, and then even if you have no cards in your hand, on your opponent's turn, you just activate it immediately, and then add back like a banished, one of your other banished pieces, and then you have a discard for Dragon Buster on your turn. So I just think this card's insane. Like, it's really like this was probably the like standout of like, you obviously don't make this a lot, but every time you make it, they are not ready for it, and you win.
Yes. So I just something I want to say. In formats or decks rather, where the line of play is not always incredibly different in mirror matches.
Your deck has to be better.
Your deck has to be better.
Yeah.
You have to have cards, like not even just builds, but like there has to be cards that you introduce to the matchup that your opponent just can't deal with, and that's one of them that just sets you over the edge.
Because if they're not playing around this, which none of my opponents were, like I summoned this on like 3 different people, and everyone like I summoned this in like 3 different mirrors, and they had to read it every time, and they just said, "Wow, that's good." Like that was all they said about it. I was like, "Well, yeah." Side deck, 3 anti-spell, not in the main because sometimes you go second, unfortunately. Yeah. But this card's really good at going first, so you put it in going first. 3 system down. I think this is the best card in the mirror, and I think this is almost like. This card is so broken in the mirror, and it makes me mad that it like exists. Like, not like if it just banished everything on the field, that would be fine. But the fact that it like wipes their grave too is just absurd. Like this card is so much better than Kaiju's against this deck. So much better. 2 Maxi, 3 Reaper for the mirror, and then a Dante in the side in case BA. I didn't play against any, so I never put this in. But whatever. The 3rd Gamma Seal, Cycle Reader, only 1 because this is not a card that is like insane to open with.
That you want.
But Garrigon can search it, so there were a couple times where like for going like first in the mirror, like I bricked, like Gadget summon Guy, make Garrigon search Cycle Reader,
and they can't answer.
Now they can't make Buster. Like, there's no way they're going to be able to put 5 ABC monsters in grave. Like, you know, like, there's no way they're going to be able to put 3 in grave, then you Cycle Reader them, then you put those, then they put those same 2 back. Like, it's just not happening. So it protects you from the Buster, usually for at least one turn. If you like brick, and then if you have like a trap and they just can't answer Giragon, then you can just keep on going.
So we played more or less the same build down to the last card we're about to see, which don't show it yet.
Yeah.
But so my tournament experience was similar to yours. I went 7-2 instead of 8-1, so I didn't top, but the deck was still insane. And I hard drew Cycle Reader in the mirror, and that was fine because I was able to later add it back from grave with Giragon, which you can do, which is crazy.
Yeah, that too. So you literally only need one.
one.
If you banish it off Desires, unlucky. That doesn't matter. Like, whatever.
Okay, and what's the last card you played?
So we wanted this 15th card to be a card to answer Monster Floodgates. Like, we were like, I guess we just put in Regeki.
I played Regeki.
You played Regeki because you're better than, because this card is not good.
But I think, is this card the reason you topped?
However, maybe. No. However, okay. We wanted something to answer a Monster Floodgate, like specifically Monster Floodgates, like Vanity's Fiend from DDD or BA, or Jowgen from Metal Foe, and we've seen Vanity's Fiend popping up in a lot of Metal Foe side decks as well. Yeah. So it just like increases the need for something like this. Farfa. So the thought process was, this is probably incorrect. However, we did it anyway. You have to hard draw Regeki. So, okay, well, let me finish. So, you have to hard draw Regeki.
I'll try.
Sure. You can Foolish Farfa, and if you hard draw Farfa, we play 3 Twins, and we play 3 Brilliant Fusions, so you can, like, so you can use your extra normal summon on Farfa to banish something, and then whatever. If you draw it, like, mid to late game, you can just discard it, you can just discard this off of Buster, banish something, and then banish something else and just kill them. What this mattered the most against, we found, was Metal Foe, because if you Regeki their Jowgen or their Vanity's Fiend, they just go like counter, counter, counter.
Yes.
And then you can't kill them, and then they get so much advantage, and then you might just lose. Like, what happened to me, my opponent went first, he was like Gofu, like scale kill token, scale kill scale, scale kill token, tribute Gofu for Vanity's Fiend. And then you just had like a Vanity's Fiend, like 3 counters, and like a scale. And then I was like, oh. And I just had like Union Hanger and just like 4 ABC cards. It was like Union Hanger, like summon a guy, equip a guy. When they're equipped, if they would kill the level 4 monster, you just kill the Union monster instead. So I just like walled up with just a bunch of like ABC, like vanilla monsters, and he couldn't normal summon anything else that could like beat over them. So he just only had Vanity's Fiend. It was literally just like Vanity's Fiend control, and I was just like summoning bad level 4s that just like couldn't be destroyed by battle once per turn, like you know, every turn. Until eventually, I drew a Farfa, and then I had an anti-spell up, so he couldn't like play scales.
Sure.
So he would never clear his own Vanity's Fiend. So eventually, I just drew Farfa, and I was like, I guess I just have to like wait. So I just like kept putting more guys. I set up 4 ABCs in grave, and then 2 on board. Normal summon Farfa, it dies because you control non-BA monsters. Banish Vanity's Fiend, made Castel, hit his last scale, and then banished all 6 ABCs for 2 busters and killed him. And it was the most undeserved victory of my entire life, and I can't believe it walked. And then I played against Barrier Statue.
That was not the only time you used Farfa.
What? That was not the only time I used Farfa. I played against Barrier Statue, and that deck was literally, he would just go like, summon like a Jowgen, like summon a Fossil Dino, equip Moon Mirror Shield, go. And I was like, okay. And then there was a lot of like, Union Hanger, like summon A, like equip a guy, can't die by battle. Like next turn, summon a guy, equip a guy, can't die by battle, go. And he would just like sit on his like 1 Fossil Dino, and I was like, summon Farfa, banish Fossil Dino, kill you. And that just... So, like, in that instance, a Regeki would have been exactly the same card, like, precisely the same card exactly. But against Metal Foe specifically, destroying their Jowgen or their Vanity's Fiend actually means you can't kill them, because they just use all their counters, they just wall up, and they have a bunch of guys, like, if you can't kill all of them, their scales can just start killing them and just getting, like, more fusions.
Okay.
And then they might just, like, and they just go, like, set another fusion, like, Pendulum fusion, like, get another fusion, and they just kill you. But Farfa.
Sure.
So, this is probably not correct. I'll probably never do this ever again in my life, but it was randomly insane.
You got first place.
Against Metal Foe.
Yep.
So...
wow. Well, that's pretty much all I can say is wow. I think that at the conclusion of this video, people might not be convinced that this is the best build, which is wrong of them to be, because it's the best build.
Okay, hold on.
So,
okay, well, This deck has been out for like 3 days. Like, I'm sure there's still more to do with this deck. But
Well, it's
right
also
now,
worth mentioning that the format is over.
Yes, Invasion Vengeance comes out in like 2 weeks, and like everything changes. But one thing I do want to show is I showed how Brilliant Fusion like lets you play without hanger. So another thing that Brilliant Fusion can also just like send Trick Clown. Like, so if you brick, you can just go like Brilliant, send Trick Clown, like summon anything, make a Tsukiyomi, and it's just sending Trick Clown is just identical to having a gadget or having like a Thrasher.
Okay, so
but when you open Insane,
right,
like this card actually lets you win.
I was apprehensive to play this deck because as a longtime BA player, my favorite thing about BA was that you could grind, you had very good matchups down the board, and you could also OTK at will. And I didn't want to play this deck because I felt like this deck could never OTK. Like I felt like if you were going second, you could never kill them that turn. And upon discovering this build, I figured out that you could, and it only takes 3 cards, and they're all 3-ofs.
This is a 6-of.
Yes.
And this is a 4.
Yes.
But yeah.
So this is the 3-card OTK.
Sure.
We'll take you through that shortly and conclude the video.
When I get all right, let's pull everything out. Okay, so basically,
it's like 9,000 damage.
yeah, it's a lot. It's probably more than that. Okay, so Union Hanger, search like anything except for B, doesn't matter. So search like, let's just like search like A, right? Gadget for A, Union Hanger equip B from your deck. Overlay for Gear Gigant. B falls off, B searches. Search the piece you're missing, search C. Activate Gear Gigant, detach A, search
Gadget.
Silver Gadget, I have one here. Yeah, search the Silver Gadget. Search what the
other gadget.
Yeah, the other gadget. Brilliant Fusion for a Strath Knight. Send Trick Clown and Garnet. This matters.
Yes.
So then Trick Clown Trick Clown activates. Summon back Trick Clown. Summon Gadget.
Additional normal.
Use your extra normal summon from Strath Knight on Silver Gadget. Silver Gadget special the guy from your hand. Make Dagusto Emerald. Detach the C to special summon a normal monster from your graveyard, or a non-effect monster from your graveyard, so you get Garnet. Then this can just be any rank 4. So if you need to clear something, you can Castell it. If like you're not going to direwolf at this point because they didn't have any back row anyway, or maybe you're going to direwolf because it's just like I don't know.
Yes,
you
make anything.
You make Castell, or you can just make the
Utopia.
Yeah, Utopia is usually better.
Dweller, Utopia, whatever you need.
Then you banish these 3 for Buster.
So that's a 3-card combo. So you have 2 in hand, you have 1 for Buster, and if you have a spell for the Brilliant Fusion.
And if you have another spell to discard for Brilliant Fusion, this also has 300 attack.
So that becomes like 11,000 damage instead of just 8.
Well, I mean, this is already like 10,600 or something.
Yes.
10,000 something, and then this makes it like 12,000 if you have a spell.
So that's a standard 3-card combo. So what was that? Any gadget.
Any gadget.
Union Hanger or Terraforming.
So it's any gadget, Union Hanger or Terraforming, and Brilliant. Ends with Gigant,
so 6 of, 4 of, could be 6 of if we play more, and 3 of.
And 3 of. Ends with, and if you just open these anyway, you like win, but this, or this anyway, like you just win.
All right, well.
You literally just game them going second.
I see why Twin Twister's good. I see why you won the regional. Yeah, this is great. Thanks so much for doing this. Any last remarks before it's been quite a long video?
I would like to thank Colin. Colin built this deck with me as always. As always, he usually builds almost every deck I play at every event. And then I want to give a shout out to Tristan Juhas. He played this exact same build card for card and also topped the same regional. So
good.
Thanks, you guys, for helping us out with this.
All right.
And I think that's about it.
All right, well, that's it. It's been Calvin Tahan with the Car Guys. Again, Ryan Levine also with the Car Guys. Thanks for watching.